By the way, if you want to know the rankings without watching the video, just go ahead and skip to the end. Now, I'm going to sound biased when I say this, but I think the Soldier is the best class in the whole game. They don't have any weak links, even the Centurion and like General Supremo, even they have their uses. And they also have a camper, they have an ultra aggressive, they have the campers, they have the god tier characters. Like, this class has 3 characters that are in the top tier, with Reg, Super Commando, and Arctic. So, and their ability set's really good. They can get onto high places, they can get out of a fight with Jump Leap, ZPG to take down P-Gatlings, and if you land a lucky shot on anyone else, can kill every plant in the game, and Super Sting Cloud to run away. Anyways, that's why I think the best Soldier is the best class in the game. Now again, I'm gonna sound biased here, but I believe the Corn is the second best class in the game, right behind the Soldier. Let's look at his ability set to start out. He got the Airstrike, which is kind of useful. It can be useful sometimes. We got Shuck Shot, which is pretty much ZPG, but you know, you get 2 of them instead of 1. I mean, like when he shoots two out, so it's a bit less accurate, but that's fine. And then you have Huskop, which kills literally everything it touches, and it's a broken ability. It should have been nerfed from day 1. Actually, I'm pretty sure they did nerf it a lot, and it's still broken. But the only reason this class isn't top tier is because Barbecue Corn, we all love him, but he is a weak link in this class. He's leagues below the rest. And even, you can argue even a Mob Cob. He's literally just a worse version of regular Corn. But this class also has 2 top tier characters with Red Corn and Party Corn, and multiple high tier characters like Commando and Pops. Overall, a really good class. I completely forgot to do the imps up at the top. Okay, so imps were supposed to be after Corns, but I completely forgot about it, so I'll just edit it to put it there. Anyways, the imps are an extremely strong class. They literally don't have a weak link in here. I could argue for Lil Drake, but even then, that's a stretch. Now let's go over why each character is good. But first, the abilities. You know, each character, besides Party Imp and Reg Imp, have a different mech of their own. That's very awesome, I believe. All of them are good. Even Lil Drake's has its purpose. Gravity Nade is an instant fight winner, and then Skill Kata, you know, if you just don't feel like aiming. And also, all the mechs have abilities of their own. I don't want to go through every single one of them. Let's start off. So Reg Imp is very balanced, very good. Like, this whole class relies on mobility. You know, they have butt boosters, they're very small. They don't have a lot of health, though. But they're very small and have butt boosters and can double jump and run around the whole place, and they're quite fast. So I believe that makes up for the health drop. They used to have 50 health, too, before PopCap said that's way too low and gave him 75. But so the Reg Imp is very balanced, very good damage, very good fire rate, quite inaccurate, but you're not going to be playing an Imp from range anyways. Lil Drake is a Fire Imp, does less damage, but has fire. He's pretty good too. Pylon Imp is, in my opinion, the most... What the hell is that guy? But the most underrated... One of the most underrated characters in this game. A lot of people hate him, but here's the plan with him. Just play ultra aggressive. Like, not just like... I know, like, some people are going to say, like you do anyways, bro. You're not smart. You're dumb. But play ultra aggressive, like more than even Z7 Imp. That's how you play this character. Shrimp is an all-out attack character. He does more damage than Reg and Party Imp, or just Reg Imp, but he does fire slower, but for the most part, he's really good. Z7 is brain dead. We don't need to talk about him. Party Imp is just better Imp. You know, party time. That's all good stuff. And Scallywag Imp, again, quite underrated by some people. This guy hits up to 40 damage per shot, and sure, he does fire slow, but he does a lot of damage, and his mech is awesome. What's with the voice cracks? His mech is awesome. Yeah, I believe the Imp is a very strong class. Now, I was very tempted to put Citron way lower, purely because of, well, we'll talk about who. But Citron is this high because you really just can't ignore how good the class is and how good the other 4 characters are. So let's look at their ability set. They got a Stun, which also makes it which instantly makes the whole class very good. It has Mood Shield, or Peel Shield, which is awesome. It's a shield. And then you also have the Citron Ball, in which you can speed yourself up to run away, or you can spin dash to kill someone or run away. So he's a hit and run character, if you couldn't tell. And he's really good. The only reason this character isn't above Corner Soldier or, anyone is because of this character. He's easily the worst character in the game, and this character is a very low tier character. But I tell you, 4 years ago, this class would have been the best because you have Iron Citron and pre-patch Electro Citron and pre-patch Toxic Citron. That's pretty good. But now these four have to carry the rest of the class. But other than that, the whole Citron class is very good. Now this is how you know I'm not biased. I don't really like playing the Rose. I mean, I like playing the good ones, like the super good ones, like Reg Rose and Neck Rose and Party Rose. But in my opinion, they just aren't my class to play. But they are a very strong class, you can't deny that. They're a support character, however, no one plays them for support. They all just camp in the back and use the homing. It's her main gimmick. She has homing. And if you get the homing upgrade, which is advanced level 9, that homing becomes pretty busted. Except on these two. That's why this class isn't any higher. This character is, she's not even that bad. She's just so painful to play. As soon as I mastered her, I was like, I want to throw this character off a cliff. And then this character is a bit better. She can freeze people, but she's still nothing special. Voice crack. Still nothing special. This character is awesome. But, as you can see, the new plant classes are quite amazing at what they can do. Next is, in my opinion, a very underrated class. The Sunflowers. I'm gonna get some shit for this, because a lot of people don't like Sunflowers. Yes, it does have weak links, like Metal Petal, who's not as bad as people say she is, but she's not very good. And Alien Flower, who has her uses in Turf and Ops. Outside of that, she's not very good. But then you have characters like Reg Sunflower, Power Flower, Shadow Flower, Mystic Flower, Sun Pharaoh, Vampire, and Stuffy Flower, all very good characters. Three of them, I would argue, are high. Four of them, actually, I would argue are high tier, with Reg, Stuffy, Vampire, and Mystic. Mystic being a heavily underrated character. But let's look. This class is the ultimate support class. You got the Heal Beam, you got the Heal Flower, and you got the Sunbeam. Most people use the Heal Flower to heal themselves. The Heal Beam is really good because if you get another Sunflower, you can just hook your beams up to each other and be very, very, very durable. And then I use Solar Flare. Some people use Sunbeam. It's whatever you prefer. They're both very good. They are not as good as P-Galling, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, I think the Sunflower is a very good class. I don't see a lot of people play like the very good ones. I mostly just see people play them to level them up. But as soon as I'm max rank, I'm playing Mystic, you best believe it. Next is easily the most annoying class in this entire game, right beside Chomper. They're equal on annoyance. But it is the pea shooter. Why are they annoying? Well, Hyper allows you to jump super high and move really fast. And people just moon jump for as long as Hyper lasts, and then shoot you with splash damage. Because, yeah, this is another splash damage class, besides these three, who are actually the best in their class. But other than that, let's look at their abilities. They got Bean Bomb, which is very useful, especially in Ops, but in multiplayer it can be too. Gatling, which is crutched by ZPG, but if there's no soldiers around or they're all dead, or they don't have ZPG, you're pretty good to go. You can shred through enemies. And then Hyper, as we said, is brain dead, and it can allow you to pretty much win any fight by playing like a dick. If you are going to go that far, then. Other than that, let's look at the characters. First of all, we have the most broken character in the entire game, EP. Fuck this character, but he is really good, can't deny it. You have Plasma P, which is another heavy hitter in this class. Awesome attack with a charge up. Quite accurate, especially for a P shooter. And then you have the three best, in my opinion. You have Commando P, who is a very underrated character. Never see him played. He's a walking P Gatling with a slower fire rate. Agent P, which I shouldn't need to explain why this character is insane. 33s for headshots, can shoot really fast, semi-auto. Yeah, I think that's easy. Law P is pretty much the same, does less damage, only has 6 shots, but can shoot even faster. And then you have the brain dead one like Toxic P, Reg P. all these characters are good. The only characters that are not is especially this character, Rock P. He's not good because of how slow he is. Pea Shooter relies on mobility. This character is slow. He does have more health, but he's just so slow, man. I can't. And his primary, easily the worst, because it's not even. It doesn't even. When you shoot, it doesn't even go directly forward. It goes a little bit to the left. And he actually only does 22 damage. The other 12 damage that makes it 34 is from Splash. So yeah, that's quite embarrassing for you, Mr. Rockby. And then these two, Ice P's Ice Effect is very good. Also damage drop off. This character is decent. Nothing special. Other than that, that's a Pea Shooter class. So now here I have Pirates. I believe Pirates are the best sniper class because they have a shotgun and overall better abilities than the Cactus. But this class is quite strong. All right. So you've got Captain Deadbeard, who is a really good character. Same with Captain Partyman, just a bit worse. Can my voice stop cracking? And then Captain Cannon, I haven't mastered him. He's not my choice of character, but I can't deny he is undeniably busted. Flameface is pretty decent, can't lie. Sharkbite, his shotgun's dog shit, just like Captain Cannon, and same with Flameface, but his primary is pretty good. And then Captain Squawk, I don't need to explain why this character's stupid. He can't shoot fast at all. His crosshairs bloom out every time you shoot. It takes like a 4-second reload, even with upgrades. He does hit a lot of damage though. Also, the flamethrower is awful. But these dudes are all snipers. They're meant to be staying in the back and picking people off. They have the drone, they have the cannon, they have the barrel. It's all pretty good. Yeah, you should expect with Pirates comes Cactus. But, so Cactus is below Pirate for the reasons I said. Pirate has a shotgun and overall better abilities. But let's see here. We've got the Potato Mine, which is pretty good. You can sneak. It's really fun to use when you can, get people to step on them. You got the drone, which is decent, not better, not even like... The parrots and drones, garlic drones, they're all the same level. They don't really, one's not better than the other. And then you got the Tall Nuts or Johnny, whatever you want to use. And then let's look at the weak links first. Fire Cactus has too much damage drop off. Ice Cactus is really, really good, but too much damage drop off. I believe Camo Cactus, if used correctly, is God tier, but most people don't know how to use it correctly. By means staying literally all the way in the back, not even coming up a little bit. And that's about it. Jade Cactus is alright. Now let's look at the strong links, because there are some pretty strong ones here. We've got the best one, Future Cactus. For camping, how the Cactus is supposed to be played. This character is the one you want to go to. Really good charge shot, does over 100 damage for fully charged headshot. Just really good, can't lie. Power Cactus shoots really fast. Does have a damage drop off, but she shoots really fast. And also power. Red Cactus is just really balanced, lots of damage, decent fire rate. Petrified is another manual detonation character and is pretty busted because the shots move slower so that it's easier to detonate them. Does insanity damage. Zen Cactus, her gimmick is really good. Like, does 65 for just anywhere hitting on the body for the last shot. It's a really good gimmick. Don't know why I didn't play her earlier. Bandit Cactus is pretty much a soldier with cactus abilities. Yeah. This class is very strong. But once again, it's under the Pirates because no shotgun, and they generally struggle really bad up close, besides Petrified. Now, this kind of is very annoying, but, All-Stars have to rank all the way down here purely because another voice crack, but their character variants are very terrible, like, god-awful. Let's start with their abilities, and then the strong links. Impun's brain dead, you just throw it in someone's jawline and then they're dead. Sprint tackle, brain dead, you just break their whole skeleton, if they even have one. And then tackle dummies you can use to run. The classic combo, punt, tackle, put up there for dummies, and run. But now let's look at the strong links. Reg All-Star is very balanced and very good. Goalie Star can freeze people. It's really good too. And then, I would say Hockey Star. And then, yeah, I would say Hockey Star. Purely because of his fire rate. Some people are going to say, oh, Baseball Star is pretty much Hockey Star, but better. Oh, Gold Star is pretty much Hockey Star, but better. No. I played them both. I genuinely enjoyed Hockey Star a lot more for me. Now let's look at the weak links. Creaky Star is not really a weak link, but he is just not very good overall. He does have the best weapon skin, though. Baseball Star is just a character. He exists. Rugby Star is better than Wrestling Star, but that's not a very high bar in the first place. Speaking of, I just mastered this character. He wasn't very fun. He's very limited in what he can do. Golf Star is heavily overrated by some people. That's about it. He's a character that exists. Motocross, you can tell by the way I haven't mastered him. He's easily the worst. Come on, you can do better than 2s and 3s, man. Tennis Star is good. But since the nerf, he got worse. But he's still okay. Okay, now I know what you're going to say. Why is Scientist so low? They have so many top-tier characters. And you're right, they do. But at the same time, the way the player base plays now, I'll talk about this more with Super Brains. The way this player base plays now, it doesn't allow for scientists to really capitalize on what they can do, besides astronaut and maybe paleontologist and archaeologist. But let's go over their abilities. So they are a support class. No one plays them support, though. You've got the heal station to heal yourself, and others, I guess. You got the heal ball to heal yourself, and others, I guess. And you got the warps to get out of any situation, primarily your teammates dying in front of you. But Reg Scientist hits like a trained 77 damage per shot. Marine Biologist is worse than Computer Scientist, however, that bar is very high, so that's fine. Yeah, let's go over the top tier characters. You got Reg Scientist, Marine Biologist, Astronaut, and Computer Scientist. Let's go over the kind of weak links. Archaeologists and Paleontologists are not very good. They do decent damage, and from range, they're fine, but I mean, they're just not very good. They're like jack-of-all-trades characters who are not good at particularly anything. Chemist and Zoologist 4 years ago would have been top tier. However, again, the way this player base plays now doesn't allow them to do much. They can't get in close enough because they are point-blank characters. They can only damage people from point-blank besides sticky balls. And yeah. And then you have like the people that are decent. Physicist is decent, a lot of damage, very slow fire rate. Dr. Toxic, if he had more ammo, he'd be higher. Yeah, that's the Scientist class. Very strong, can heal himself, very awesome, but at the same time, the way this player base plays doesn't allow them to do much. And we'll talk about that right now. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, when this game came out, SBs would have been all the way at the top. Like, even better than Soldier and Imp and Korn and all those guys. Because, think about it, they had Turbo Twister, the player base didn't play like absolute pussies, and they also had Toxic Brains and Pre-Patch E and Cosmic Brains. But they don't now. This is 2022. They're very strong in the sense of what they can do. They're very weak in the sense of how they do it. What I mean by that is they're a close range class with a beam. So they get up close to people and punch the shit out of them. They got Hadouken, Turbo Twister, which again 4 or 5 years ago would kill anything it touched. Now it's completely useless. And you get 2 heroic kicks now. It's pretty good. But why do I say they're bad? Well, I say they're bad because the way this player base plays now, basically, if you want to fight 1, you have to fight 5, and SB is not equipped to do that. He's very much a 1-on-1, 2-on-1 character. So, what happens? They don't thrive, because they can't get in close enough to get the punches, and when they do, they only end up killing 1 or 2 before getting lasered. And we'll talk about the one weak link right now. Cosmic Brains. Cosmic Brains, he's alright. He's not as bad as some people say, he's not as good as some people say. He's just okay. He's literally the epitome of an average character. Nothing special about him, other than he can send people to the Shadow Realm. Electro Brains, he punches really fast, does less damage, and overall does less damage than everyone else in his class, even Toxic Brains, if you're counting Overload. So yeah, this guy is not very good. Now on to the pretty strong links. You got Super Brains, Breakfast Brains, Party Brains, and Toxic Brains. Especially Toxic Brains. This guy does 10, 20, 30, which is 60. And then when you get Overload, which you get by punching people, not killing people, you just have to punch them like 12, 13 times. He does 30, 60, 90. That comes out to 180 damage per punch combo. Not to mention his beam also starts doing 10s and 12s instead of 6s and 7s. So yeah, this guy's pretty awesome. Party Brains is just better than Super Brains, because he has a meter. But these are both solid characters. And Breakfast Brains is a meme, but he actually is very fun and pretty good. But like I said, this character class is not very high because of the way the player base plays. You have to fight 1, you gotta fight 5, and SBs just can't do that. Now, why is this not applied to people like Imp? Well, Imp's very hard to hit, usually sticks with his team, and usually on his own, Gravity Nade is all you need to get everyone into a little ball. Next is probably a controversial pick for some people, but the Engineer ranks all the way down here. Why? Well, this class is not very good for 2 reasons. One, their primaries are not the best, at least some of them. And number 2, while they do have a very good ability set, once those abilities are gone, there's not a lot you can do against a certain class we'll talk about in a minute. However, they are the Chomper counter, alright? They get the stun, the jackhammer, and the Bolt Blaster, which Chompers cannot eat. Speaking of that Bolt Blaster, it's just more inaccurate P-Gatling, but does more damage, and has a pretty good hitbox protection. Stun is a fight winner, and Jackhammer can allow you to rush people or just run away. And I got kicked out. Oh my fucking god. Bro, I was playing. What do you mean? How the fuck are you gonna kick me out of my own offline backyard battleground? How the fuck? Oh, you weren't playing? I wasn't playing with anyone! What do you mean? Anyways, continuing our conversation about the Engineer, I believe that their primaries are not very good. However, they do a lot of damage, but they are very inaccurate, and that's the problem with them. But let's talk about the strong links. We got Mechanic, which is awesome. Parry/Painter, which is pretty much a sniper. He's also really good. Plumber's Splash is too big to ignore. And then Rody Z, he suffers from the same problem as the SBs, so he's not a strong link, I'm just talking about him. He suffers from the same problem as the SBs, where you can't get in close enough, but if you spam the R2 button, man, people die really fast. Now let's talk about the weak links. Electrician, very inaccurate. He can counter bumming, which is very good on his part, but again, he's super inaccurate, he's hard to use. Sanitation Expert, nothing special about this character whatsoever. He does a lot of damage, that's about it, but everyone else does. And AC Parry, he's alright. He's nothing special. Now, the Chomper does counter Chomper completely, which I do give him props for. But this class, besides Mechanic, Painter, and a few other characters, has nothing special about it whatsoever. And they're also, not to mention, they have quite a big hitbox. They're quite easy to hit, so... And now, last and least, Chompers. We don't need to talk about all these characters are dog shit. Besides Yeti, who is dog shit anyways, his shooty is not good. Chomp Cannon is fun, but not very usable. I use it just for fun. This character class is limited to point blank. They are very gimmicky and annoying with Goop, Burrow, and Spikeweed. All being brain dead abilities. However, again, their only option is point blank. Not to mention, they're quite easy to deal with. Burrow, just get up on a spot, jump on one of your teammates, let them get in instead of you. Engineers can cripple this character completely. But let's talk about the couple of strong links, I guess. Hot Rod, very fast. That's his only thing that he relies on. He's very annoying, but he is very fast, so that does allow him to be a better chomper. I guess Twilight, because he's also fast and has a warp and a pretty heavy bite. But now let's talk about the weak links, and that would be the rest of the class. Chomper, Fire Chomper, Power Chomper, Count Chompula, maybe not Count Chompula, Toxic Chomper, Armored Chomper, Chomp Thing, Yeti Chomper, and Disco Chomper. All dog shit characters. Disco's meter is filled by eating people. That is terrible. But yeah, this character's limited to point blank. Their abilities are very gimmicky. They're gimmicky in themselves. They are crippled by so much as someone standing on a rooftop. So, yeah, this character sucks. I'm spawning I'm spawning in so PopCap doesn't get their pants wet and kicks me out again. Now, if you don't want to watch the whole video and you just want to know what the rankings I put for these characters are, that is fine. I don't blame you. This is a long video, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now. So, best to worst, the best, in my opinion, is a soldier. Then it goes corn, imp, citron, rose, sunflower, pea shooter, pirates, cactus, all-star, scientist, super brains, engineer, and then the worst is chomper. Now, that's the rankings if you didn't want to watch the video, so there you go. Have a nice day.